Peace, family. How you doing? It's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency. And I like to give you a round of applause and myself, pat myself on the back a little bit. Why? Because this is episode 50. This is episode 50 for those that have been here for the duration of Consistency is Currency. We made it to episode 50. That is a long time. That is a lot of commitment. That is a lot of waking up. That is a lot of intentionally doing this on purpose and not doing it by happenstance, but doing it on purpose with the purpose of instilling into the community a consistent way of thinking that could create currency for you. So you made it to episode 50. So I appreciate you for being here. For those that have been a part of this journey, and for those that have been here throughout this process, again, we will always start in gratitude with gratitude. So for those that are watching right now, I appreciate you for being here. Those that are in the Facebook world, those that are on the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Those that are listening in a podcast world, I thank you and I appreciate you. And again, I will always give my commitment. So one thing I like, so I'm gonna talk analytics. I'm gonna look at my stuff. So I'm not, I am paying attention. So my audience demographics, as far as age, 54% is in between the age of 18 and 22. I love that, and I appreciate you, uh, youngins that are out there, and I appreciate you, those that are listening, of course, here in the U.S., Italy, Nigeria, Canada, India is listening now, Germany, South Africa, Australia is listening. Morocco's been consistent. Mexico, New Zealand, Ireland, Turkey, Netherlands, Pakistan, and Algeria. Those that are listening in the podcast space, I thank you and I appreciate you for doing what you do. All right. Let me see who's here on Facebook. Miss Lambert, how you doing, ma'am? Mr. Sheldon, peace. How you doing, sir? Miss Salinas, I think you've been here through 50. So, Miss Salinas, I appreciate you for being here, rocking with me for the 50 episodes now. Miss Lambert, I think you came maybe in the 30s. Mr. Sheldon, appreciate you for your first time. Those that are viewing for the first time, man, it's going to get good, especially today. So, we're going to be talking about the power of speech. Today is pretty interesting, but today is a good one, real good one. The power of speech. It's not going to be long, so I'm going to jump into this and give you what you're here for, that growth, that internal growth, that intellectual growth, that spiritual growth, that growth that you need all the way around. So those that are watching, again, good morning to you. The only thing that I would love is for you to say it back. Why? This is an exchange of intellectual property, meaning I am intellectually committed to you as you commit during this time and in this moment. So again, good morning, grand rising, whatever you say, where you from. All right, so let's jump into it. The power of speech. We always start with the definition and then we go into what we're talking about, because a lot of times we don't look at where the origin, we don't go back into the definition of things, because you get to really understand the word itself and how you actually activate within those words or the construct of the word. So the definition of speech is the communication or expression of thoughts in spoken words. As you can see, the highlighted words: communication, expression, spoken words, because how you say things could be how you communicate, and how you communicate could be the expression of how you're feeling on the inside, or could be the expression on how and where your thoughts stem from, and how you speak those things come from internal. Just like when it says, out of the heart the mouth will speak, not the heart of the, the beat of the heart, but the internal you. Out of that internal place, your mouth will express through communication on how you really feel. So again, as we talk and as we go through things, today, those things that resonate with you, go ahead and drop and put those things inside a comment, because there may be someone who is watching it with you that may like, you know what, I didn't see that, but I get it now. Or there may be someone that's watching or listening on the replay that may be like, you know what, I understand where you coming from, and you may be able to start this dialogue between you and somebody else. All right. So again, the first definition is the communication or expression of thought in spoken word. I bet y'all probably didn't look at the definition of speech before. It is an expression of how you communicate based off of your thoughts. So the second definition of speech is something that is spoken or utterance. Utterance comes from inside. It sounds like it's coming from the inside. So as you're watching, say the word utterance. It comes from deep. It comes from internal. That is your internal you. Just like you're speaking from your spirit when you say the word utterance, because you have to come from within the diaphragm in order for that word to even come out. So what are you speaking from the inside that is coming out of you, that is now having a outward expression? The things that are coming from the utterance of you has a outward expression, and there is power in those things that you're saying, and there is power in the thoughts that you have. But it is something that need to be said in order for a change to actually take place, because as you see, the second definition says something that is spoken. So, because there is something that has to be said in order for the power of your speech to be relevant, it has to come from within those internal thoughts, the things that you and who you communicate internally. You're communicating with that inner hero. You're communicating with your inner goals. You're communicating with your inner thoughts. But when you speak from the utterance of you, from the inside, it has the internal your internal being now will have a outward expression, because something has to be said. Now when we're speaking, we're talking about you speaking to you. We're talking about you speaking into your existence and speaking life into that particular thing. All right, so let's go into it. Number one. Now, normally I have five, but this time I only have four, because that's where it had stopped at. I'm not going to force something if it is not meant to be forced. I listen to what has been said, and then I stop from there. All right. So the first thing that you're going to have to understand, that you're going to have to speak with conviction. You're going to have to speak with conviction. One thing that I tell my son all the time, I say, without conviction, there will be no correction. Without conviction, there will be no correction, because if you don't have it in you, if you don't have that the spirit of change, or if you don't have something in you that you want to be better, or something in you that that has to have and develop a newness within inside of you, you have to be convicted first in order for that change to take place. So speak with convictions. Remove the power of your excuse. Some of you have given excuse so much power that it begins to water down the truth that you have within inside of you. You have given power to the excuse that you no longer have the ability to do things anymore, because the first thing that opened your mouth is an excuse. You are trying to make an excuse make sense. You are trying to give an excuse so much power that you no longer have the ability to control your expectations, because you started with an excuse from the get-go. Y'all make sure y'all share this live on your Facebook. Those that are watching on the YouTube, shoot this link to someone, because I'm sure we know someone that is very consistent at being inconsistent. I know we know someone that speaks down on themselves before they speak up for themselves. I know we know someone that speak with excuses before they speak with conviction of change. I'm speaking to you today, and the path of your excuse will lead you astray. And because your excuse will lead you astray, it will start to make you feel as if the excuse is even a lot more worthy than the opportunity. It will make you feel that your excuse is more worthy than the opportunity that has been present for you, with you, and surrounding you. So speak with conviction to yourself. Speak life in the conviction that things will change, because you're going to have to remove the power of the excuse and give yourself a relevant opportunity for change, because without change, the chance won't happen. So speak with conviction. Speak with the conditions that you know that you're going to change something with inside of you, that you know that you want to have a outward appearance of change. All right. So number 2 is there is power in your voice. There is so much power in your voice. Let it resonate and let it live. How can you let your voice resonate? Have you ever went inside of a room, and even after you physically left the room, your voice is still there, because your voice resonates inside the room? The things that you say inside the room will stay inside the room, and it will continue to live. Everybody got everyone has a big mama. Everyone has, a papa or a grandfather or a mentor, someone that voice still resonates with you to this day. I mean, sorry for your loss, but you didn't really lose. You've gained more than what you physically lost, because that voice, the power of that voice still resonates inside of you even to this day. The things that you do, the reason why you cook this way, the reason why you move this way, because there was a voice that resonated with you at that time that still lives within inside of you. But I want you to take the power of your voice and allow it to resonate inside of you and let it live. Give it life. And then at the end, and the words became flesh. The words became flesh. The power of your voice. Allow your voice to resonate inside you, the things that you do, the gifts that you have, the talents that you have, the skill set that you develop. Let your voice resonate and let it live, and the words will become flesh. All right, number 3, speak life. Speak life. Speak life into the things that will build you. We already have and we already see enough things that tear us down. We already see enough things or enough people that are striving to tear down the life that we have built, or to tear down a life that we are building. But I want you to speak those words that build you. I am intelligent. I am wise. I am beautiful. I am worthy. Speak life into that thing. And what happens when you speak life into the things that build you? The words will become flesh. Number 4, speak affirmed. Speak affirmed. Now, when you speak affirmed, you're going to begin to rehydrate those bones. You're going to have to look those bones in the face and rehydrate those bones. What are those bones? What are you talking about? The things that you have you stopped doing, those visions that you no longer have, those dreams that you no longer have. You've been in your relationship so long that you have lost the sting of the gifts and the dreams that you had before you've been in that relationship. You should not want to be lost so much into something or someone that you no longer can speak affirmed about yourself. But I want you to rehydrate those bones, those dry bones that are in the valley. Speak life into those bones and allow those bones to stand back up. And when you rehydrate those bones, and when you speak affirmed about the what you're doing, the who you are, the what you will do, what you must do, those words will then become flesh because you've rehydrated those bones. And the words will become flesh. All right, the last thing I want to leave you with is your pathway forward into your journey lies between the crease of your lips. Oh man. When I wrote this, when this came out, I was like, ooh, I gotta write this down. The pathway forward into your journey lies between the crease of your lips. What have you not said yet? What have you not said yet? What have you not said that is preventing you from developing the map to the destiny because you have failed to open the crease of your lips to speak life into your situation? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Because when it said the words became flesh and made dwelling, it said, well, word for word, it said the words became flesh and made his dwelling among us. But your words, when you allow your words to become flesh, it will dwell in everything that you do. I am wealthy. So you're going to start finding out or reading books about being wealthy, or you're going to listen to videos about how to become wealthy, or you're going to actually be actively engaged in repairing your credit because you are going to turn those words into flesh, into activities, in creating something, in creating the newness that is inside of you in order for you to be uttered into the existence, and allow your words to become flesh. And when you allow it to become flesh, be consistent with it. Speak to yourself, speak within yourself, speak for yourself, and allow your words to become flesh. Peace.